Hello YouTubers, how are you today? I hope you're doing okay. Well, he's done it again. Harold Camping predicted the end of the world to happen, just like he did back in 1994. And of course, 94 came and went, and we are still here. And once again, he predicted the end of the world to occur on May 21st, 2011. And yeah, we are still here. So what is his excuse this time? Just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff he comes up with, just listen to this exchange between him and one of his listeners who called in one evening to his open forum show.
Why should I believe what you're saying now regarding the second coming of Christ when you were wrong back in 94 and 95? You just had an advertisement on your radio for one of your books saying that you have two definite dates concerning the Lord's return. And, well, I mean, how do you know they're definite? And how can you have two definite dates?
Yeah, let me ask you a very simple question. When you learn to ride a bicycle, and I assume you know how to ride a bicycle, and you got a bicycle, you're 5 years old or whatever the age is, and it does not have training wheels on it, and you were a precocious youngster, and you got on that bike, and away you started riding perfectly. Could that have happened? It would be very, very rare. The chances are you got on that bike, and went about 10 feet and flopped down. No, you kept trying, and finally you learned to ride. Has anything in the world ever been produced by mankind that was perfect the first time?
Yeah, right. This is so silly. It's incredible that someone of Camping's maturity would come up with something like this. First of all, we're not talking about a young child trying to do something for the first time, like learning to ride a bicycle. We are talking about a person who is in his 80s, who has supposedly been studying the Bible for decades. Someone who has been doing it for that long should have achieved a level of spirituality far beyond that of being able to understand the simple milk of the Word, and should be able to interpret much of the meat of the Word. He should have been able to attain a level of spiritual maturity, which, if it was indeed being guided by the indwelling Holy Spirit, it would have not allowed him to come into such error. But apparently it is not the guidance of the Holy Spirit that he has looked to, but rather his reliance on his own view of how the Bible should be interpreted. And now we see the end result. Now normally it wouldn't be such a big deal that someone did such things to make himself look foolish. But we are not talking about a nobody here. Harold Camping is the head of a radio station that reaches millions of people daily in over 40 languages, both here in the United States and worldwide on shortwave. Many have come to trust him as a teacher of the Bible. Now, what does this do to that trust? Among the consequences of unwarranted speculation and false prophecy are the undermining of new believers' faith, the mockery of Christianity by skeptics, ruining one's reputation as a teacher, preventing believers from planning for the future, spiritual discouragement, wasting valuable time, and leading potential converts away from the Christian faith. Unbelievers may look at all of this and say, hey, this guy claims to be teaching the truth of the Bible. Well, it's been twice now that he did this, and the world didn't end. So what does that have to say about his Bible and his teachings? How can we believe anything that he says is true? And so the opportunity to reach such unbelievers with the truth of the gospel may have been lost forever. And that indeed would be really tragic. That is why it is necessary for me and others to speak out and inform people that views held by teachers like Camping are not in line with the majority consensus of the Christian community. Harold Camping is a maverick in this area. You could fit him right in with the company of Johnny-come-latelys like Charles Russell, who founded the Jehovah's Witnesses, Mary Baker Eddy, founder of the Christian Scientists, and L. Ron Hubbard, founder of Scientology. They all had one thing in common, and that was to be at odds with the teaching of mainstream Christianity in one or more ways. Biblical prophecy and eschatology are both fascinating and spiritually encouraging subjects, as any Christian who has studied them will testify. They are also difficult subjects to deal with responsibly because not all prophecy is equally clear. But if the Bible is clear on anything, it is that no one knows the specific time of Christ's return. Jesus himself stated, and I quote, "It is not for you to know the times or the dates the Father has set by his own authority." That's in Acts 1:7. And in reference to his return, it is written, "But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone." That's in Matthew 24:36. It was Jesus who warned Christians that we were to be on guard, be alert, for you do not know when that time will come. Thus, when Christ said that no one knows the time of his return, he obviously included present-day believers. So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect him. Apparently, people like Harold Camping don't believe the clear teaching of the Bible concerning this. The knowledge of fulfilled prophecy and the sure knowledge of Christ's eventual return should be of great comfort to Christians. But the question is not so much whether we should be ready to meet God at a such and such a date in the future, but that we are ready to meet him now. Death can overtake any one of us at any moment. We can be as healthy as an ox and have some drunk driver run a stop sign or a red light and kill us. We can never tell. Well, I hope and pray that Mr. Camping will find the error of his way and change his methodology in interpreting scriptures, because it causes a lot of damage. Thank you for listening, and until the next time, Lord willing, there is a next time, have a nice week.